Okay, so today I'm just going to be going through just a bit about nutrition and food and calories and how much you need, why you need it, things like that. My DMs are literally flooded every day with like, should I eat this, how much should I eat, what are macros, how do I work out my macros, things like that. So instead of replying to everyone individually, I thought I would just make this video, and then if anyone does message me, I can just send them the video and it should cover everything. So I wrote down some questions from the post I put up the other day. So first I'm just going to talk through everything, and then I'll go on to the questions, but we should cover everything that comes up for the questions anyway. So first things first, with calories, always calculate your maintenance calories. So if you've got my nutrition guide, there's like a formula in there. If you're no good at maths, you can literally put calorie calculator into Google. It depends on your age, your weight, your height, and your activity level. So the calories that I eat will be different to the calories that you eat, just because of all those factors. So basically start by working out your maintenance calories. For example, say it came back as 2,200 calories. If you want to lose weight, you will need to eat in a 500 calorie deficit per day. So if your maintenance was 2,200, you would be eating 1,700 calories every day to lose 1 pound of fat. So 1 pound of fat in the body contains 3,500 calories. So to lose 1 pound of fat a week, you need to eat 3,500 calories less. So that's 500 calories per day, which is why I always say 500 calories. I wouldn't ever go over this, just because your body needs calories for fuel. So if you're not eating enough, and say you're in a 1,000 calorie deficit, your body will not only burn fat, but it will burn through muscle. So if you're not giving your body enough calories, all the muscle that you do have on your body will literally start burning it away just to fuel you. So 500 calories. So a pound of fat has 3,500. If you eat this less your calories, you will lose 1 pound of fat a week. This doesn't mean you'll lose just a pound. You could lose 2 pounds, you could lose like 2.5 pounds. So I did it last week. I ate 500 calories under for 7 days and I lost 2.5 pounds. So that would be probably a pound of fat and then 1.5 pounds of water. So because I cut down my carbs and things like that a little bit because I was eating under. So when you eat carbs, your body holds on to like 3 grams of water. So 1 gram of carb, 3 grams of water. So if you have like a really carby day, your body will just be heavier because you're watery. So then when you cut the carbs out, your body will release the water that it's been holding on to. So if your aim is weight loss, you will be looking at your diet. So weight loss is all about calories. Say if you were eating at your maintenance calories and then you were working out, you might not necessarily lose any weight just from the working out. If you were in a calorie deficit, so 500 calories under every day, and working out, you would lose weight. If you don't eat in a deficit, you will not lose weight. If you eat at your maintenance, you will maintain your weight. If you want to gain weight, you will need to eat in a calorie surplus. So this is more calories than what your body burns at rest. So if you ate more calories, you will then gain weight. Pretty straightforward. So in essence, okay, so here's how calories work. It's not as much to do with what you're eating, it's how much you're eating. So say person A eats 1,500 calories worth of McDonald's for 7 days, but that's 500 calories under their maintenance. They would probably lose a pound of fat. If there's someone who's eating 500 calories more every day, but they're eating it with like fruit and veg and meat and really healthy, they are still eating over their maintenance calories, so they will still gain weight. It doesn't matter what you're eating. If you eat more than what you need, you will gain weight, whether it's fruit or cake. If you eat under your calories, whether it's McDonald's or anything, you will lose weight. That's not to say eat McDonald's every day, because that's not good for you. It's just to put calories into perspective. So say you've got a really healthy, clean, wholesome diet with like whole grains, meat, dairy, fruit, veg, and you're eating 500 calories under, that is the best thing you can do for your body to lose weight. So you're getting your nutrients, you're getting your healthy carbs, you're getting your protein, your healthy fats, and you're eating in a deficit. That is going to work the best for you. Again, I get asked all the time, are carbs bad for you? Do I need to stop eating carbs to lose weight? Like all this stuff. Carbs are not bad for you. Carbs are the fuel for your body. So carbs are your energy source. So if you're going to do like a big workout, or you're going to go for a run or things like that, you should have some carbs before. So my favourite is like oats, bananas, bread, pasta, rice, potato, anything like that. And then that is what your body burns up first. So it burns all the carbs, well, most of the carbs, as your energy. If you do not give your body carbs, it will have to use your protein and things like that to burn as energy. So then your muscles aren't getting that protein. So that's why you need carbs. You've got like your healthy carbs, which are like your fruit, your veg, your whole grain rice, pasta, potato, things like that. And then you've got your not so good carbs, which is your processed foods like cake, biscuits, cookies, crisps, fried food, things like that. So carbs are not bad for you, but processed carbs are worse for you than what a natural carb is. So when I'm eating carbs, which is every day, I love carbs, have them with every meal, I opt for like the whole grain or like whole wheat options. So if I do have toast, I'll have like the 50-50, or I'll have like whole grain, wholemeal, like the 5 seed, things like that. Something with like a brown grain in it, as they've got the most nutrients compared to white bread. So basically all grains come with their nutrients around them, and then when we make things like whole grain pasta, or when brown rice, like brown bread, things like that, the nutrients are still intact when that's cooked. But for white grains, like your white grain, white pasta, white rice, they strip the outer layer of that grain off, and then it lacks all its nutrients pretty much. So that's why I always go for whole grain, just because they're more nutrient dense. It's not to say you can't eat like white carbs, they're just not as good for you. And healthier choices in that respect. Then we go on to fats. So there's your healthy fats, which are things like your oily fish, avocado, olive oil, eggs, nuts, things like that. Then you've got your saturated fats, like your fatty dairies, like butter, things like that. And then you've got your trans fats, which are your processed things like baked goods, cookies, crisps, popcorn, crackers, like things like that. So you need fat in your diet, again, but go for more healthier fats, so like your oily fish, avocado, rather than like cookies. And then we've got protein. So protein is so important, especially if you weight train, if you're trying to lose weight, just to be healthier overall. So anything you do that's weight resistance will make little micro tears in your muscle. So it's going to cause damage to the muscle. When you eat protein, the protein goes straight to the muscle and it patches those tears up and makes them bigger and stronger. If you do not have protein in your diet, your muscles are not going to recover. They're not going to get bigger, you're not going to get stronger. So if you lack protein in your diet, you're going to have a slower recovery. You are not going to make as many gains as someone who is doing the exact same workout as you. So if you are looking to gain muscle, tone up, things like that, I guide for 1 gram of protein per body weight in pounds. So I'm, I don't know, about 125 pounds. So I aim for 125 grams of protein. So some days I don't hit this, I will admit. It's just something to aim for. I don't need a whole 1 gram per pound of weight. Anywhere between like half a gram to a whole gram is gonna be most beneficial for you. So why protein is important as well, so if you do weight bearing exercise, the more muscle you have on your body, the more calories you will burn up throughout the day just by doing nothing. So your muscles are going to soak up a lot of those calories throughout the day. So if weight loss is obviously your goal, that's why cardio and weightlifting is going to be most beneficial for you. So the cardio will help burn through fat, and then the weightlifting is going to grow your muscles bigger so that more calories are going to be burnt up throughout the day. Okay, so I get questions all the time like, oh, I've been eating how many calories you told me to for like 3 days now and I haven't lost any weight. Like, do you recommend any tips, or am I doing something wrong? So first off, you need to stick to something for more than a week, at least, to know if it's working. I always say when cutting your calories down, do it for at least 14 days. If it's not working for you, if you're losing too much, if you're not losing enough, things like that, then you can reassess it. But like 3 days is not long enough to know if something is working for you. So there could be a couple reasons why you are not losing weight. Number one, you are not eating in a calorie deficit. You might think, oh, well, like I've hardly eaten anything today. I've only had 1,200 calories. Have you actually had 1,200 calories, or have your meals been 1,200 calories and then all the snacks that you've eaten in between, you just think, oh, well, like I've picked it off someone else's plate. I'm not going to track that. It doesn't count unless I've cooked it for myself. If you are consuming that, it is going into your body. So when I was trying to lose weight before, I never ever used to track like my sauces or like butter or sugar in my drinks, things like that. And the first like 2 weeks I was like so confused because I wasn't losing any weight, or I wasn't losing much weight. So then I downloaded the MyFitnessPal app. So it lets you scan the barcode of anything you eat, put the amount, things like that. And then I started tracking everything. So I love mayo. I put mayo on all my food all the time, and I was having like Hellmann's full fat mayo. So I'd have my meal and I'd be like, oh, it's 500 calories meal. I'd have like 30 grams of mayo and I'd scan it and it'd be like 160 calories. So my 500 calorie deficit was now only a 340 calorie deficit. And then I wasn't tracking, like I'd have a coffee on a morning, I'd have like an almond latte, and I'd have like caramel syrup in it, and I'd look and it'd be like 300 calories. So just from my sauce on my dinner and my coffee on my way to work, that 500 calories that I thought I was eating under, I was not eating under at all. So I wasn't eating in a deficit. And people always say to me, no, like I've been really good, like I should have lost something. It doesn't work like that. You either eat under your calories or you don't eat under your calories. Like your body knows what you're putting in it. So you might think, oh, the biscuit I had this morning with my tea, it might be 80 calories per biscuit, and if you have 3, you're not going to lose the weight. So it's not anyone else's fault but your own. You have to track everything you eat. Another reason why you might not be losing weight is when you calculated your calories, say before lockdown, you were walking 10,000 steps a day to and from work, walking around the office, you were going to a gym, lifting heavy weight, and now that you're in the house, you might be getting in 2,000 steps a day. The weight that you were used to lifting in the gym, you can't lift anymore because you don't have access to it. So you're using like 2 kilo dumbbells and things like that. If you calculated your calories before, your maintenance might have been 2,200. Now that you're in lockdown, your maintenance might be 1,700. So it's worth looking at your calories. Also, if you're £10 lighter now than you were when you first calculated them, your maintenance calories are going to be completely different. So you need to look at your calories for weight loss. Okay, another thing is I would recommend getting a digital food scale. I got one from Sainsbury's, it was like £9, and I weigh everything. So when I'm trying to lose weight, if I put in MyFitnessPal that I've had 15 grams of mayonnaise, I put my plate on there with my food on, set it to 0, and I put exactly 15 grams of sauce on. If you just go and put whatever you want on it, you've probably like doubled, tripled your calories of what you thought you were eating. I weigh all my food, I weigh it before I cook it. So say if I'm having pasta, I'll cook like 75 grams of dry pasta, and then I will track on MyFitnessPal 75 grams dry pasta. When you cook pasta, it doubles in weight. So that's 150 grams of cooked pasta. If I'm weighing meat, I weigh it before I cook it, and I usually have like 200 grams of any meat, and then I will track 200 grams. I don't just pick up a chicken breast and be like, it's probably 200, it might not be 200, and then I weigh it and it's like 320 grams. So I would definitely recommend weighing your food. So like I was saying, last week and the week before, I have been tracking my calories. So my maintenance calories has gone down to about 1800. So I'm eating 1350 calories every day, which is about 450 calorie deficit. And I have managed to lose over 2 weeks 4 pounds. 4 in 2 weeks, just from tracking my food. Yes, I've eaten crisps. Yes, I've eaten chocolate. Yes, I have coffee. I haven't done anything, like I haven't been running 20,000 steps like every day. I haven't been like starving myself. I don't have salads 4 times a day. All I've done is had normal meals, whatever I want to eat. So I have like my protein, like my meats. I have carbs like potato, veg, fruit. I have protein shakes, yogurts, chocolate strawberries. I had chocolate strawberries yesterday. I could eat what I want, but as long as I track it and it's under my calories, I am going to benefit from it. So I haven't upped my workouts, I haven't gone on jogs every day, I haven't starved myself. I've eaten normal, I've just tracked it. That is all you need to do, it's that simple. Okay, so another point, people say, like, I'm 4 days in and I'm really struggling. I would eat chocolate every day before and now I'm not letting myself have any. Like, do you have any tips on how to stay motivated? Most people have a sugar addiction. This isn't like some secret. Most people, I used to have one. I had like such a food addiction. If I went like 2 days without something, I would be like crying where I thought I was dying, I was starving. All I wanted was a sugary food. So you might not know you have it until you start cutting those foods out and you're really struggling. You're so demotivated. All you want to do is scoff down like a whole bar of chocolate. So it's the same as any addiction. When you take that thing out, you're going to have withdrawals from it. It takes 10 days to break a sugar addiction. So if you can go without sugar for 10 days, you have already won half the battle. You can still have chocolate. You can still have sugar in your coffee or on your cereal. Just don't have as much of it. So buy like tiny little chocolate bars that when it gets like 3 o'clock in the afternoon and you need a little sugar pick-me-up, you can take that bar of chocolate and you'll look forward to it all day and it will help you get through it. With like a tea and coffee, get the little sweeteners. They're just as sweet, you won't even notice that it's not sugar, but it will just keep you going. The next thing, when tracking weight loss, do not be disheartened if you stand on the scales and it is not showing you what you want to see. If the scale hasn't moved since the last time you stepped on it 7 days ago, there's a lot of things that can affect your weight, especially your time of the month. So if you are someone that has periods and you're trying to lose weight and you step on the scales 1 week and you've gained 2 pounds, this is fine. The human body fluctuates so much depending on all these different things. So if you have like a high carb day, you will retain water. So the best thing that I would recommend is, yes, standing on the scales before you start your weight loss journey is good to have a starting point. But weighing yourself every 2 days is not healthy for you. I'd recommend taking body measurements, so around your bicep, your waist, your hips, your thigh, calf, neck, wrist, things like that. And then every 4 to 6 weeks, measure it again. This way, your weight might not change, especially if you're weight training and you are lifting heavy weights. Your weight may not change at all, but your body will change. You will notice a difference. Take photos as well. So one from the front with your arms out, side, arms out, and from the back. So this way, in 4 to 6 weeks' time, you stand on the scales, they haven't changed. You compare your pictures and your measurements, and your waist has shrank 4 inches, you've lost an inch off your thigh, your bum's more toned and round and lifted, and your glutes have got bigger. It might not reflect on the scale, but your photos and your measurements are gonna show a much bigger result than just your body weight. Okay, so I'm just gonna answer some of the questions that came through on my nutrition story. So the first one is, what foods to reduce body fat? There isn't a food that will reduce your body fat, it's your calories. If you want to lose body fat, eat in a calorie deficit. 500 a day, you will lose fat. Okay, another one I've got is foods that keep you full for a long time to avoid snacking. I find the protein keeps me full. So if I'm hungry, I'll have like a protein shake, literally just 1 scoop with a bit of almond milk, and the protein helps to keep you full for longer. Also carbs. So when you have, say you have lunch, obviously have your protein source and then have your carbs. So have like 200 grams of like a jacket potato or 125 grams of rice, things like that. I find that that keeps me really full. Also fruit. If I have like a big bowl of like fruit salad, that helps me keep full as well. The next one is meal routines. So I am not someone that eats breakfast, never have. Sometimes I just eat it for the sake of it, but what I like to do is wake up and I'll have like 2 cups of tea, and then I hold off until about 12:30, and then I have lunch. This way, my lunch and my dinner, I can have more calories and I can have bigger portions if I don't have my breakfast. You can call it fasting if you want, but it's just a way to eat fewer calories in a shorter window. So I have 2 cups of tea, I have my lunch, I'll have a snack, I'll have dinner, and I'll have a pudding. So my snack will usually be like a protein yogurt, chocolate rice cakes, anything like that. Okay, the next one is, can you tell us about nutrition myths online that are actually wrong or not healthy, if that makes sense? A myth that goes around is carbs make you fat. Not true. Like I've said, carbs are fuel for your body. If you do not have carbs, your body will burn up your muscle. So obviously if you're trying to lose weight, cut out the saturated foods like your baked goods, your crisps, your crackers, things like that. Another one is protein makes you bulky. Eating protein does not make you bulky. If you just eat protein, your body just absorbs it. Okay, the next one is, how many calories do you take off your maintenance to be in a deficit? You can take as much as you want off, but I would not recommend going more than 500 calories under. As I've said, if you take more calories off, your body will start burning up like your muscle and things like that. 500 calories off a day is 3,500 calories for the week, and you will lose 1 pound of fat a week. Okay, the next one is, should I not have a bar of chocolate every day to lose weight even if I'm in a deficit? If you are in a calorie deficit, like I said, it doesn't matter what you eat. So if you're someone that wants to eat chocolate every day, eat chocolate every day. Just make sure you track it, and then you know not to use those calories up on your meals and things like that. Obviously, say if you eat 100 calorie chocolate bar, obviously that's not going to be as nutrient dense, and you're not going to get as much protein and healthy carbs from the chocolate bar than you would be of 100 calories of fruit, for example. But it's not to say that you can't have chocolate. You would just be lacking in some of the macros that you need in your diet. But yes, if you are in a calorie deficit, you can eat chocolate every day and still lose weight. The next one is, do you have cooked meals for lunch and dinner? I sometimes feel I may overeat if I eat cooked meals for lunch, or is it more about portion size? I am someone that does eat a cooked or like a hot meal for lunch. I just find them more filling than eating like a cold like salad or like a sandwich, things like that. You can, like I said, you can eat what you want for your meals. It's like, yeah, like you've said, portion size, but more about calories. So say if you wanted like sausage and mash for dinner, but you only had 500 calories to keep you in your deficit, you would just have like 2 or 3 sausages, a smaller amount of mash, and then obviously your veg, rather than having like 6 sausages. So it's portion control comes down to your calories at the end of the day. Okay, the next one is, what if you haven't hit your daily calorie intake but you're not hungry? So say if your deficit is 1700 and you get to 1200 and you're so full and you can't eat, obviously your body still needs the calories whether you're hungry or not. So what I would do is, the meals that you do eat throughout the day, say if you're so full from those meals you can't eat snacks in between, maybe just up the carb size of those meals just to up the calories a little bit, because you don't want to eat under too much. Okay, the next one is what to eat in a day for weight loss. Again, doesn't matter what you eat, it's how much you eat of it. Obviously stick to like your hearty, like whole grains and your fruit, veg, meat, carbs, things like that, but just track your calories. How do you know how many calories your body needs daily, especially if your activity varies? So if you go online and you put in calorie calculator, and then it will ask you for obviously your age, your height, your weight, and your activity level for the week. So it will say 1 to 2 exercises per week, 3 to 5 exercises per week, 6 to 7 exercises per week. So you would just average out your workouts for the week, and then it will calculate your calories. So it doesn't matter if you do 2 workouts in a day and then the next day you do absolutely nothing. It's averaged out for the whole week. And then obviously you would take 500 off that maintenance. How to calculate macros. There is a formula again in the nutrition guide if you have a copy of it. If not, you can just put into Google macro calculator. It will ask you for the amount of calories you're eating. So if you're in a deficit, put your deficit calories in, and then it will tell you how many grams of carbs, protein and fat you want to aim for a day. So that's everything I'm going to go through today. I hope this clears some things up for people. If you're still confused or you don't get it or you have another question that I haven't answered, give me a DM and then I'll put it in my story just so everyone can see, and then hopefully everyone can have a better understanding of everything.